Drake likes an old J Prince clip talking about Pusha T after he's exposed in the Jeffrey Epstein files. What's up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join that membership and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So, Drake is back online, hitting like and subbing and doing this, that, and the third. At this point, Drake knows everything he likes comes under scrutiny, and it gets pushed out there to the world, and it will highlight whatever he likes. People will go to that post just to see what he's liking. So Drake is playing a high level of trolling with Pusha T. He's not outwardly saying much about the situation, but he's letting his fingers do the talking as he's clicking like on stuff that is degrading Pusha T in any kind of way. I want to read this because I find this kind of, it's a backhanded weirdness to it that Drake is still out here trolling by way of Instagram, okay? Let me have this conversation. Drake likes an old clip of J Prince discussing Pusha T after the latest Jeffrey Epstein files release. This is that's a whole lot to say. That's a whole mouthful, but it does mean something. It means your boy's out here trolling and directing people to things that already happened back in the day, but he wants to bring them up. A lot of people are bringing up a lot of old stuff with this Jeffrey Epstein nonsense. I already did a video on that. Go watch that and let me know in the comments if you agree. But let me read this. Drake famously feuded with Pusha T back in 2018, but the battle ended after Pusha dropped the story of Adidon. Y'all remember that with Drake and blackface on the cover? I love how his fans came out, started explaining that. Well, that was for that was a photo shoot for a magazine. Like, what? It ain't no reason. I don't give a fuck what that shit was. Your boy had blackface on. Let me just continue, okay? Let me just continue. Drake allegedly liked a video on Instagram showing J Prince discussing his feud with Pusha T. In the clip, Prince says Pusha's track, The Story of Adidon, crossed the line, and that he warned Drake against releasing a response he had prepared. He hinted that the unreleased song would have ended Pusha T's career and, quote, hurt families. Now, let's go back to that time, right? Remember when Pusha had dropped Story of Adidon? The whole rap world was on pins and needles, right? Because we had got Duppy, right? Duppy. We had got Duppy, which was not a bad record. Let's just be honest. Duppy was not a bad record, right? And so we were like, it was like a tennis match. We watched one guy hit the ball and the other one volley, and we're like, okay, what you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? Like Cole said, what you gonna do, Cole? We like, what you gonna do, Drake? And so everybody was seeing Drake balling up his fist like Arthur, right? In the damn meme, he's balling up his fist. He's ready to go. Out of nowhere, crickets, no record. Come to find out, allegedly according to Drake, that J Prince put the kibosh on and said, your brand is too big and we got too much money invested in your ass. Let's just be honest. For you to be out here rapping all crazy, calling this man this, that, and the third, once you say this stuff, you can't take it back. And that shit is on record forever. So if you you lay down too muddy with him, you play in the mud too much, you become a pig right with him. So J Prince was like, listen, I don't need no piggies. I need you to stay clean. I need you to stay dust free. And I need you to stay focused. Go give me a big record. And I believe that's when they came out with that record, God's Plan. I believe that allegedly that he was inspired by XXXTentacion to give away free things. And it's documented XXXTentacion did that first. He was giving out, he had a whole hashtag and he had a whole movement. He was giving away money and this, that, and the third. And he didn't even have it like that to be given away. But XXX did start that, and I believe that XXX was beefing with Drake heavily. He had a lot of shit to say about him. So Drake just did one better, did his plan, took it bigger. Biggest record of Drake's career, biggest video of his career. He took that allegedly from XXX. But that's what he came with. He left the battle alone, and by default, you could say he came out unscathed. And some people could say he won. We say he lost, but by default, by him just falling back, moving on like LL Cool J did when Cannabis beat him, he just moved on, started making bigger records. You could say he won, because like I still say this day, Nas beat Jay-Z in that battle, but at the time, for a couple years, Jay-Z was perceived to have won the war because he had bigger records, he made more money, did bigger business deals, so it perceived to have won. Now, Nas was Nas, and Nas started like, listen, two could play that game. Nas started to invest in his own businesses, this, that, and the third. I believe he invested in Ring doorbell and a lot of huge things, a lot of things that went on to become massive and made that man a whole lot of money. So all that Jay-Z won the war shit's out the window because Nas came back and started doing music at a very high level. arguably 6 classics in a row with King's Disease and Magic. So we say that Jay-Z won the war, but arguably Nas actually, they both that war hasn't ended. So some people want to say that Drake kind of won that war over Pusha because he went on to be bigger. He did bigger records in the billions, and his streams are up. And a lot of people to this day, since that battle, have always, they still do. They go in, they'll screenshot Pusha T. They did it last year when the clips dropped. Pusha T amount of hits, 0, right? So they look at it like Drake won that battle by default because he just went on to be such a bigger artist than Pusha T, and Pusha T really don't make hits, but when Pusha T comes, you can feel it in the air. The air gets electric. Every time he drop, all of hip-hop stops. Everybody goes and plays that. It loves hip-hop. I don't know about the pop fans now. You're measuring a pop star versus a hip-hopper. Right? Pusha T is doing real hardcore hip-hop, gang. I'm just going to be honest. That's why Drake has the damn Pusha T cup. He bought the cup talking about he going to melt it down. Well, it ain't melted down. He bought the Pusha T chalice. He was a fan of this guy, right? So at the end of the day, we see that Drake will sell more units is arguably how Drake will sell more units. He's a bigger artist. He does bigger things than Pusha T, but Pusha T really gets that hip-hop love. So when that battle happened, we were waiting for Drake's response, and he alleges that Jay Prince said no. Jay Prince allegedly heard this scathing diss record and was like, no, buddy, we're not risking this brand. We got a lot of money invested in you. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna actually go over here. I'm gonna have you do this this thing with Kanye, that you're gonna do that. You're gonna do that together. Right, we need you to lock in and do that together, okay? So we got other things in mind for you, right? So let me continue, because I, for one, never thought the record was gonna be that great to end nobody's career. I really think what it was that they knew whatever he was gonna come back with, Pusha T was already ready. He was already loaded, just like Kendrick was when he came with that goddamn Family Matters. And I think this dude Kendrick waited 20 minutes. He was like this, all right. Whitney, hit send on that computer over there. The laptop that's open, you see that mouse hovering? Just hit send. Just hit, I got it. The rest, I take it. Just hit send. I'm doing something. She hit send, bang. The whole shit went up and messed the whole rollout of Family Matters, and the rest is history. So they was ready for him. And I think Pusha T was ready for his ass. And that's why he didn't release that, because whatever he was saying, half of it was unsubstantiated. A lot of nonsense. You heard the rumors that Drake was putting 100 grand in the streets, getting information on Pusha, and Pusha found out all this, that, and the third. And it was just going to be, a record full of nasty stuff, but it probably wasn't going to work anyway. So it wasn't going to end nobody's career. It was going to be a bunch of gossip and this, that, and the third. So I think Drake really regrets never finishing up that battle, and he feels away. So I say all that to say this. Let me finish this article. The clip resurfaced after the Justice Department released various documents related to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein on Sunday. Due to the nature of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which we had to fight, gang, not we, I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, because I know it's bullshit. I know whatever happened, they're gonna protect the rich, and they're gonna dump on the poor. Whoever they can get to, or not necessarily the poor, but the people who aren't involved in the billionaire status of this, right? They're gonna dump it on they're gonna dump it on Pusha and people like that to distract you. But they're not gonna get the real people that really was at the island, that's on the phone logs and the plane logs, that really went there and did this shit over and over, right? So so the release is for what? Releasing it for what? They calling Bill Clinton to the Congress. Now he got a congressional hearing. Him and his wife. The wife was never there, right? But him and his wife got to go for a congressional hearing. But the he who shall not be named, the top dog, done daughter, sitting in there. He's spinning this thing 100 different ways. He in the damn shit more than anybody on earth. But he ain't getting no congressional hearing. Right? End of the day, you're sitting there trying to figure out if Pusha T and Jay-Z is there. Meanwhile, right? They got a handwritten letter from this guy talking about, yo, me and you, we like our secrets, right? Don't get me started on this shit, gang. Do not get me started on your president. So I'm going to keep this focus on Pusha T and Drake, okay? Let me continue. Due to the natures of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, any file, regardless of its lack of credibility, was included. One FBI crisis intake report cited a phone call tip to an open line in which an anonymous victim alleged that Pusha T was a handler and that she once woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z. Mind you, she said that in 1996, she woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z. Then in 2007, she woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Pusha T. The common denominator, Harvey Weinstein. Now, if you ask yourself a question, ain't he supposedly liking these chicks young? She claims she got abducted 7 times, right? In 1996, she was there, whatever age she was in 96. Now, in 07, you ain't that no more. Why are they still grabbing you? People don't use critical thinking, but I do. But let me continue. The caption of the Instagram post that Drake allegedly liked reads, quote, J. Prince video resurfaces after Epstein documents named Pusha T as a handler and mentioned Jay-Z, and it originated from the page Toronto Rappers. This is what you got to understand. This dude, Drake, is a 100% troll. I don't know where he finds the time to always be online reading these damn posts and these memes all day, gang. This motherfucker, he's spinning on steak all day, and then he looking over at the other phone. I don't know what's going on, but he got the laptop open, got the phone open, and he liking this, that, and the third while he doing whatever kind of gambling he's doing on steak. I don't know how this guy does it, but he always saying some shit, especially these pages, right? These Toronto pages feeding into everything this guy got going on. And he loves it, right? They sitting here posting this nonsense about J. Prince, talking about he was going to hurt somebody's career, this, that, and the third, this imaginary record that we never heard. Yeah, sure. Anyway, let me continue. On Sunday night, Trevor Noah referenced the recent release of files connected to Jeffrey Epstein while hosting the Grammy Awards. In doing so, he poked fun at the mention of Donald Trump. Quote, this is a Grammy that every artist wants almost as much as Trump wants Greenland. He then went on to say, which makes sense. I mean, since Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with on with Bill Clinton. Ha ha, I love it. Trevor. I like Trevor Noah. I like him. He has a team of writers that write all this stuff, and they come up with these jokes. And for the most part, he's a pleasant individual. Let me keep it at that. In response, Trump threatened to take legal action against Noah. Quote, Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent some time on Epstein Island. Wrong, he wrote on his True Social platform. I can't speak for Bill, but I have, you guys know this, I don't know if you know that Bill Clinton and Donald Trump used to be friends. I don't know if you know this. Let me just continue, right? But I can't speak for Bill. Let me continue. They want to bring Bill up to the congressional hearing, right? While this dude down the street eating boiled eggs and whatever else they got going in the White House. But let me continue, right? I digress. I can't speak for Bill, but I have never been to Epstein Island nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there. This is wild, gang. This is wild. Let me continue. Not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty. Ask Little George Sloponopolis. Guy's always been funny with these nicknames, gang. I'm going to give him that. This dude Trump will give you a nickname and it will stick. And others, and how all that worked out. Also, ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. Now, let me just say this about that. CBS, they don't let no jokes through. This guy didn't wing this joke. This joke was written. This joke was vetted. They already approved this joke. Ain't none of these jokes just come up on the fly. So they already ready for whatever you got going on. Yes, CBS will cave. He already got the ass for millions the first time over 60 minutes, right? But this not that. This something else. They wrote the joke. The joke is a joke. Right? There's plenty of jokes about Donald Trump all day, all night. So if they wrote the joke, they must have all their bases covered and their lawyers ready. They would have bleeped the joke out. Believe it or not, it's a live telecast, but they could still bleep stuff out. So they would have just bleeped the joke out. So it must have some merit to it. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump is whatever. But let's stay focused on Drake hitting like on this post. Now, Drake is hitting like on this post because it's going to fan the flame that Pusha T got something to hide. This is what these people want to hear. This is what they want to build this narrative that Pusha T did something. Pusha T was a teenager in 1996. Right? And in 2007, he was making music this, that, and the third, but not enough to go to the Jeffrey Epstein's Florida mansion and be a handler. For one, Jeffrey Epstein, what they not talking about is on record that he don't jive with black people. He's on record that he don't party with black people. But that's neither here nor there, right? Because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that part because then it's a whole different conversation. Let's just keep it smooth like this. Drake hit like to divert eyes over to that. To feed this narrative that Drake was somehow prophetic and he knew that Pusha T was on his island, and in that rap that Pusha T stopped him, he was going to expose Jay-Z and expose Pusha T to whatever nonsense lyric he was going to say that burned down the whole the demonic Rocnation gang. It's goony goo goo nonsense, and we know that ain't nothing on that damn record was going to do nothing of the sort. Dudes was gonna listen to it, absorb it, and either like it or don't, and I was gonna move on. Wasn't gonna win the battle with it. He already was smoked with the story of Adidon. People like to diminish the story of Adidon's actual significance in hip-hop. They try to say all he did was expose a child. He exposed a child. It was a real child. Dude was waiting to do a shoe rollout. And he got wind of it. However, they say, some people say it was Kanye. Some people say it was pillow talk by 40, right? And some people say that Pusha T went out and dug up dirt by paying people the same way Drake was doing. A lot of people have their whatever they feel happy with it. End of the day, he heard it. I personally, I'm just going to be honest, I think Kanye told her, but he also said that some girl that knew 40 did that, this, that, and the third, which is plausible. But for my money, if I got to bet on which one of them things really, really happened, maybe some girl said something to the effect, but I'm going to go with Kanye told him because he told Kanye. Drake allegedly told Kanye, and Kanye was like, very, very interesting, and went and told this guy, gave him his ammunition. It is what it is. Whatever it is, Pusha went and used it. Story added on. It popped. It worked. And ended the battle, right? No more fucking back-to-back ain't going to work this time. Can't go with me on this one, gang. So, end of the day, the battle was lost from the jump. Ain't no amount of rewriting. Jay Prince, none of that. None of that's going to make the battle didn't happen. It happened. He lost badly, and it is what it is. It's a story. We all lose. You can't win them all, gang. Can't win them all. Even Jordan can't win them all. End of the day, man, it's over, man. I feel like what we saw was a moment in history. It was a great. You gotta think, win or lose, Drake been involved with some of the biggest moments in hip hop history. You gotta shake his hand for that. Give him that. Give him, whether he win or lose or draw, whatever you think it happened, he was involved with some of the biggest moments in rap. And I'm gonna leave it at that. CLBMG, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz. Tap in. Let us know. It's 9:15, 9:30, right? Lock in. If we ain't there at 9:15, we'll be there for 9:30. And if you don't see us at 9:30, the show probably ain't gonna happen, but for the most part, we'll be there, all right? Also, This, That, featuring Challz, TJ Swords, and an artist named Fliz on all streaming platforms. The video is right there. And on my page, type in This, That, Charles Brown. Watch the video. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think, man. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end. And then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking. And all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe and put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.